If your child's eating eggs, then we want to have organic. You want to have organic and free range so that they've been grass fed. And nowadays they still give grain to organic chickens, so it is what it is. But at least it's organic grain, not sprayed with glyphosate. But we really want them to be free range, that they've been out in the pasture. So I'm just going to make a couple of serves here. If they are just starting out, you'll just go back to our trick where we just sprinkle in a little bit of the calcium powder and so on. If you're more advanced, you've been doing this for a while now and we've sort of got them onto eggs, and you can give them just straight up, you know, you can give them a quarter or a half a teaspoon of your calcium powder, because remember we're trying to get bioavailable forms of calcium in, so we can just sort of sprinkle some in. We'll blend it in, and then we're trying to bring in some broth. So you can get these concentrated broth pastes. This one's called body glue, but it's a paste. So what that is it's the broth that's been boiled down. If you're just starting out, basically you can just sort of dip your fork in, you know, just get a little bit and start there. Now, if they've been going for a bit longer, you might sort of get a little bit more on the end. And eventually you work up to your quarter teaspoon or half a teaspoon. And we're just trying to whip it in to the eggs. So when you start with such a small amount, they don't see it. So that just whips in, and you can add more and more broth as you go on, and you can get up to a teaspoon of broth into a scramble if you want to. You don't have to get that high. If you're just adding it into any meal through the day or any meal through the week, you know, just try and pop it into meals here and there wherever you can during the week. Now we'll pop it into the fry pan. So you want to make sure that you're using a non-toxic fry pan. So this one is a ceramic fry pans. You don't want to be using any of those awful non-stick ones. And I've put a little bit of coconut oil in. And there you go. And that's it. And you can either turn it into a scramble, as you know, just stirring it around now, or I'm just going to wait for a little bit and I'm actually going to make it into an omelette. I'm going to add in some prawns just for some extra protein, and because this is for a couple of people. We'll be back in a sec when it's done. You'll see. It's just, you'd never know that you've popped some broth in there. I'll pop the lid on to help it cook a bit. And my kids happen to like prawn omelettes, so that's why I'm doing that. But if yours likes cheese, you would pop some of the vegan cheese in. They might want bits of ham or, you know, shallots or whatever works. Or they might just want it plain. That's fine, whatever it is. And the idea is that bit by bit you work up to putting more and more goodies in there. Let's see how it's going. Ah, there's a good, that's looking happy. And you just, there we go, beautiful. It slides around, it's a lovely non-stick ceramic. And, oh, look at that, magic. Voila.